First, let me say that even though Kobe Bryant could be a selfish, no conscience gunner on occasion, I miss watching him play.
Oh,
I
yeah.
miss him a lot.
He goes hard.
Yep. And I still believe, despite everything you said, and I agree with it, but I'm going to frame it differently. I still think Kobe deep down does miss badly. Like it tears him apart that he's not Kobe Bryant anymore. He's not that guy who walked into that Staples Center every night with the cameras following him from his car in or his helicopter in, whatever it might be. And he lived for that, and I'm sure he's onward and upward to all sorts of other creative new ventures that he's in. But you're right about the injuries. When I look back at everything he had suffered over a 4-year period, it was unholy what this man went through, because he had ACL tear, he had a fractured knee, he had an Achilles rupture, which, as you know, it's the worst thing an athlete can suffer.
Absolutely.
It's just the hardest thing to come back from, and usually you don't come back. You lose something. You lose a little spring, your lift, your quickness, a little bit of quickness, and then finally he tears his rotator cuff and he's got shoulder surgery. Like what more could happen to a man? And he's fought through it, and then he scored 60 in his final game, and I think he was relieved it was over because his body just betrayed him for the last 4 years. And I do think he looks at LeBron James and he envies him because, as we talked about the other day, LeBron's got the body of a 19-year-old, and he's had no surgeries that I know of. He's had a little back issue and maybe had to get a couple of injections, but no shoulders, no knees,
no surgeries,
Achilles, no nothing. Well, seriously, that's like, thank you, God.
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
that's a blessing.
Yes.
And Kobe didn't have that blessing. He had supreme talent, but he didn't have health. And health robbed him of about what could have been 4 kind of into your prime years.
Yes.
And it was pretty sad to watch, actually.
I think what's even more sad is that he did not cultivate relationships. Because even though Michael Jordan was on his grind, he thought the world of Oak. He still thinks the world of Oak.
Pat Ewing.
There's nothing that he wouldn't do. If Oak called Jordan right now, he said, I need you here, bruh. And same way, Oak knows Jordan got his back, he has Jordan back.
That's true.
He didn't Kobe looked at it like this. LeBron says, let me help Kyrie blossom into the player I know he can be. Let me help Kevin Love do what he can do. Kobe's approach was, I'm going to get mine. You need to get yours while I'm getting mine.
And get out my way when I do it.
So, and it was hard for him because Kobe only respected people that he thought was as equally as talented, if not greater. If you were not on his level, Kobe had no time for you. That's why he looked at the Smush Parkers and all the other guys. Yeah. He didn't look at them as teammates. He looked at them as hindrance. You can't, I can't win with this.
Even Shaq at some point became a hindrance.
Because it annoyed him that Shaq had all this God-given ability. He had all the money that he could go to the finest doctors, he had the finest nutritionists, the finest physios, and that wasn't important to him.
Nope.
But great movie star, you know, if you notice, 90% of the time, movie stars marry other movie stars because the other know what it's like to live that life. Kobe said, Shaq, you're great. And you won't do this to be greater and to help us. That's what Bob, it wasn't Shaq was fun-loving. It was that he saw what Shaq was not doing.
Even eating right.
Right. That's what he saw. He saw Shaq was not taking it serious.
Correct.
And the great players, if you don't take it serious, they got no time for you. They don't care if you're their teammate. They don't care what it is. If you can't help them, win, and they don't think you're taking it serious, because in Kobe's mind, Shaq robbed him of 2 or 3 more championships. That's how he looks at it.
Well, I was going to say, to your point, I agree with you, but I will agree with Kobe. When that Shaq situation did, me being playing sports and your teammate, when you see somebody with so much talent not taking advantage of working out or sharpening their skills or even working on free throws harder. I'm not saying that Shaq didn't work on free throws, because he did, but obviously he's not working hard enough if he's not getting it. And Kobe's mind, he's how could you not want to get better? How could you not? But then it comes back to, if you have that mentality, you go to Shaq and you do it a different way. That's all I'm saying. And like he said, to his credit, he said he regretted that situation. If he could go back, he would do that over. And Shaq even said that to the same degree that, he was just trying to make me better. He was trying to push, you know what I'm saying? And I will agree.
It didn't bother Kobe that Shaq couldn't make free throws. It bothered Shaq that his weight kept getting out of control,
Right.
and it bothered his knees, it bothered his
did.
ankles, and he
Right.
couldn't be on the court as time, and it cost him because Kobe saying, you know what,
agree with
we're in
Kobe.
our absolute apex prime.
Correct.
There is no way Tim Duncan, there's no way the Pistons, nobody for like a 7-year period, they should have been the Celtics of the late 50s and 60s.
Right.
Win all the championships because they had 2 top 5 players. And back then, a dominant center was what you needed.
Oh, my
they had a
goodness.
dominant center and they had a dominant wing player.
They did.
He said, there's no way 3 championships is all we should have got out of what we had.